All right, y'all. Continuing on with my personal tale of 9/11. I left off just hearing the initial rumblings of, that something might be up in New York City. As we were stopping there to rest at the rest stop on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, headed west to Ohio. And when that staff member came up to me and said, "Hey, John, did you hear they just evacuated the Sears Tower in Chicago?" I kind of, put my group of folks, in a line at Cinnabon. Like I say, as staff, we all had like a dedicated group and all that. And they all seemed to want Cinnabon. That was fine. Put them in line. And I walked over to this television that was up there, and they were saying, the World Trade Center had been hit by planes and all that. Anyway, get back outside a few minutes later, get everybody back on the bus, and my director kind of pulled us all up to the front of the bus, and she said, well, what do y'all think we should do? Should we turn around and head back home, or should we push forward to Cleveland? Or and the consensus was, let's get to Cleveland. We've got 44 people here that have paid $600 for, this 5-day vacation and all. Let's get to Cleveland, and we'll take it from there. So we decided to do that. I had one of only 2 radios on the bus. The other radio, and I should say it was in the form of a little Walkman. Anyone who knows what a Walkman is, or, well, it wasn't a brand name Walkman, but it was, the equivalent of. The only other radio that was on the bus was held by the staff member that was sitting directly beside me. Her name was Elsie. God rest her soul. She was a good friend of mine. But we each had a radio, and we had headphones. And we're out there in western Pennsylvania on the turnpike, and the reception is not real good because it's kind of hilly and, I don't want to say mountainous, but it's just hilly, and there is, lots of valleys and hollows and all this stuff. The reception is not real good, and we're just sitting there listening, trying to get the latest information about what's happening. We heard the Pentagon had been struck by an airplane. And the funny thing is, right, we were right out there. We were right out there around Somerset County when that Flight 93 went down, like right over our heads, right? You know what I mean? We were right out there at that time. Hell yeah, that airplane could have passed right over our bus, But Elsie and I are listening intently, trying to get this information from the radio. And the funny thing was, our social services agency serviced the mental health and mental retardation community, but it's worth noting that the mental retardation community that we served and that were on this bus are more of the higher functioning folks. They weren't severe cases and things like that. They were up to the socializing and activities and stuff like that. Anyway, we could tell as staff that they knew that something was going on. I suppose they just knew from our vibe as staff that there was something going on. Even though we all truly did try to play it as cool as possible, and the folks on the bus were kind of getting that there was something going on. Anyway, Elsie and I are listening to these headphones, and it's worth noting too, definitely worth telling that Elsie was a native New Yorker from Brooklyn, New York, and she was older than me. Didn't have much family left, but one of the only people that she did have left in her family was a niece who worked in the North Tower, the 23rd floor of the North Tower of the World Trade Center. And she's trying to call her on her cell phone, can't get through, of course, can't get through. And I'll tell you a memory that will stick with me to the day I die. There was another staff member sitting right in front of us. Wonderful lady named Janet. And she was a retiree who just kind of struck out and wanted to do some good in the world, and wandered up into the Aurora Club. I'm sorry, I don't want to say the name. Wandered up into our social services agency. Anyway, she was a beautiful lady, a beautiful soul, and she was in the seat right in front of us, and she was turned around in her seat, kind of had her arms up on the rest and looking at Elsie and I for any information about what was happening. And again, we were kind of just getting it through this static. And what I will never, ever, ever forget was I heard the newscaster say something like, both towers are down. Both towers are down. Estimated loss of life, 5,000. And as I said that out loud to Elsie and to Janet, and Janet again is turned around and looking over us, and when I said estimated loss of life, 5,000, I'll never forget it. Janet's bottom lip. And started to do that. That quivering. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that as long as I live. And shortly after that, we got to the hotel in Cleveland. Thank God. The bus driver put on a video, hoping to, engage the folks that were on the bus. And I remember what it was. It was this film called My Giant. Anyone know that? Anyone remember that? Called My Giant. Anyway, we got to the hotel in the early afternoon. And then the real fucking drama began. For me, as staff, and as in tandem with the executive director, Kathy, the next couple of hours were just extremely agonizing. But I'll get into all that in the next chapter. So, thanks for watching, my friends. Oh my God, there's so much more to come. You just don't even know. Oh my goodness gracious. Thanks for watching. See y'all in the next part. Bye-bye.